Yeah, good morning. So, Edwardian font. How do you carve it and what do you carve it with? Okay, so th this is a capital H Edwardian font. Right through here and through here you have straight sections, which are, so I use that. It's a 2-inch. This is a 1-inch. On these flat chisels, I put a hollow grind on the chisels with a dry, slow, what do you call it, slow speed bench grinder. I also use the gouges, various sizes. I'll show you the sizes. This says 7, and that's quite narrow. This says 7, that's a little wider. Then I've got a number 5, and the numbers give reference to the radius, how mellow or how steep the radius is. How do you carve it? That's a good question. So my flat chisels, I've got a series of different widths. Let's get started. So right here, I'll check for size. I've got an 18mm, and that's going to fit. So what I've gone and done, I've already cut the outline. What this does, it reduces or eliminates the chances, reduces the chance to get tear out or blowout as you're carving. So little bit by little bit, we'll make a start. So you just start anywhere, and these little cuts, these marks that you've made, just take them deeper. So that was with an 18mm chisel. This letter is quite large. I'll just get a tape measure. It is, okay, that's 5.5 inches tall, or 140 millimeters in height. Taking my 8mm flat. So I guess on the outside you could call it the concave, on the inside you could call it the convex. At this point I'm not using a hammer, I'm just pressing. But yeah, hammers are good. So this is carving by hand. I choose to do it this way and not run machinery because I'd like to do this full time, but there's just not the demand, or I haven't come across the demand as such. Taking my gouge now and just working on the outside edge. I'll make a video of the sign that I'm carving. At the end of it, I will be painting these letters. A good chap said to me, you don't paint something that you've hand carved, which is fair enough, but this sign is going to be outside, and weather, turns it grey, as weather does. So here's my 12mm flat. They are butt chisels. I just call them flats. Straight letters, or I should say Times New Roman's font, is quite easy in comparison to Edwardian. But then Times New Romans, like lowercase a's and c's and d's and stuff, b's, did I say b? They've all got round aspects, for lack of a better word, to them that you're going to be carving. So in Times New Roman's font, your T's and your I's, your H's, you just use flat chisels. And it's easy. But when the person who wants a sign done and they want Edwardian font, well, everything's doable. Somebody once told me what you can draw, what you can put on paper, is what you can carve. Back in the day when I was a kid, I was taught how to carve with machinery, but a few years after that, when I became an adult, machinery is good, but everything dulls, gets blunt, and you can't particularly maintain or sharpen it yourself, and you just throw it away and then buy like a new cutter or whatever. And what appeals to me about hand tool woodworking is that you get your tool and you maintain it, and if you don't know how to maintain it, you learn. There's enough resources out there, especially on YouTube, to learn how to maintain and how to sharpen. Like particularly these gouges. Just type into YouTube, sharpen a carving gouge, and there's good tutorials on it. So when you're wood carving, keep wide. If you're going to be carving Times New Romans, I draw it. Like, I'm not that bright with technology, computers and that, so I draw it. I'm artistically minded, I'm not mechanically minded. Sometimes I wish I was mechanically minded. But yeah, I'm not. So I draw all my signs before I start work on them, and like, I don't do anything on the computer. But when you're selecting a font to carve, keep it wide. Go Times New Roman's bold font. Not the standard font, the bold font. Little bit by little bit, just work your way around the shape until you're happy with it, until you're happy with the curves and what it looks like. If you keep it wide, like, because I'm using my hand tools, I don't use sandpaper. I gave up sandpaper a little while ago. That's the beautiful thing about hand tools and hand planes. After I've done this, I've got pencil line everywhere. I'm just going to hand plane it. And because I'm keeping my letters wide, it's going to reduce in width as you touch up the surface for a final finish. And because if you carve wide, as you hand plane it to prepare the surface for finishing, whether you oil it, varnish it, paint it, whatever, as you hand plane it, it's going to diminish in size, but that's okay. You just go back over and touch up a minimum amount. Whereas if you carve narrow, then you're just going to be opening it up each time you go to restore the sign or give it a facelift as such. I've done that before with outdoor signs. You know, it looks beautiful when it goes out of the workshop, but the where the elements just turn it grey fairly quickly, especially when people you do work for don't actually put any time in to maintain it. With, I use linseed oil. Whoopsie, that's my camera gone. We'll try that again. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to put my finger down. Hey, we're a bit far away. Whoops, there goes the camera again. That's right, I'm not making videos for views and stuff. Okay. I'm just doing some, whoops. Yeah, that'll do. I'm just doing some mallet work. I'll call it mallet work. Guess I could use a smaller mallet. I've made this fairly big one, so it acts like a club hammer as such. So I'll just, yeah, I might stop the video because I need space and stuff. Okay, there we go. Yep. Hitting it from this way is going to be no problem. This is spotted gum hardwood. Super gnarly wood. What I don't like about these chisels, they dull quite quickly. But yeah, you just come to accept you're going to make a few cuts, and you just need to go back to, in my case, the sharpening stone. I just got an old school sharpening stone, and for the cutting liquid you use kerosene, And there's a lot of technology out there, you know, water stones, Japanese stones. And if you want to use those, you know, go hard. Not even sure if this is on camera. Yeah, it is. But just make your indentations minor, and because you just cannot afford to get tear out or blow out. But if you do, because it's always going to happen, it is guaranteed. Tear out and blowout when you're doing stuff by hand is guaranteed to happen. So you just turn it back into the overall theme. You just work it into the overall theme of your sign. Yeah. I'll probably stop the video soon because I need the space to do some hitting. Yep, the mallet work. With these chisels, you know, it's just full timber. There's no brass ferrules or supports or rings. So don't use a hammer, just always use like a wooden mallet on them. What I need to do is probably jump online and pick up like some antique wood carving chisels, because they're expensive brand new, and I'm actually not happy with these ones because it's super soft steel and they dent really quickly, really easily. Yeah. So I think you get the general idea. Yesterday I worked on a capital letter B Edwardian font. I'll just sweep it and I'll show you guys it soon, because this is getting to the point nearly where I'm just going to start cleaning it up. You remove the bulk and then you just go around it and just get it to a point where it looks, you know, exceptional. I'm probably not doing this properly. If like a master woodcarver saw this video, you know, they'll be like, hey man, there's a better way. But yeah, man, I don't have the funds to go to uni and learn how to do this, you know, properly. It's just something that I enjoy. Would love to do it full time, but unfortunately don't. But as a kid, you know, like I used to spend a lot of time on artwork, and it takes a long time, you know, like a day to draw a picture. Or I got to the point where it's taking a day to draw a picture and make a rad job out of it. And then like I was introduced to wood carving as a kid with machines, and it's just, well, I find it neat, you know, like this isn't everyone's cup of tea, you know, like It is very boring. I'll show you this capital B Edwardian font. I'll just give it a sweep out. I'll just turn the camera, put my finger here to show you. Yeah, there we go. Yep, okay. So that's just all the chips, you know, flying everywhere. I'll dust it out. But as you've just seen on this video, this is how it starts. And this is the end. I've got epoxy resin running through here, epoxy resin. And that's just a natural crack or fracture in the wood. And that's just properties of wood for you. So that's right here, your Edwardian font. I'll just move the camera. Hopefully it's not going to topple over. Just remove this chisel. And show you guys it. It might be back to front with the camera because, you know, I'm only using my phone. But yeah, there it is there. And then try and get my face in it so I can see all you beautiful people. Yeah, I'm gonna slap some paint in it. The sunlight really makes it stand out, makes it look so awesome. But when cloud comes over the sun, you know, when it gets shady and stuff, the sign hardly stands out. But the paint that I'm going to slap in it, because that's what the client has asked me to do, is just going to keep it bright all the time. So yeah, have a good day, enjoy what you do. Thanks for watching, and don't know if this is any help, but if it is, it's all good. Cheers, see you later.